Austin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks
We're really looking forward to learning a bit more about you and the new hot series, NCIS Origins, so we're really glad you're here. Let's talk a little bit about what drew you to this particular franchise.
Well, I mean, when I first got the call, I learned about this audition to play a young Leroy Jethro Gibbs, and I know that name. That's something that has been in the zeitgeist for 2 decades now. And so the opportunity was massive right away. And I knew should the role come to me, that I would have a lot on my shoulders, but I was also ready for that, I felt like I could bring a lot of myself to Gibbs, and I knew that I had something inside me that could make this character breathe to life. And there was something different about this show too, the fact that it's set in 1991, so this was going to be a different version of NCIS than fans had ever seen before. The team was going to have to work together in a way that they hadn't seen, where they were going to have to rely on each other much more than their technology. And we were also going to get a deeper look at all of these characters. The writing, David North and Gina Monreal, our showrunners and head writers, have done an incredible job. The scripts that keep coming in enthrall me. You know, I just burn through the pages right away. I'll be on 5 hours sleep, and as soon as I get the next episode, I have to read it because I want to know what's happening to Gibbs and to everybody else too.
We want to know too.
Yeah.
Tell us what's different about the '90s Gibbs than what we see in his future self. I mean, give us an idea.
Well, the Gibbs that the fans know so well is a fully formed hero. This is a guy who's in charge, always in the right place at the right time, has the right thing to say. Sure, he makes mistakes every now and again, but it is, for the most part, this really triumphant leader. And my version of Gibbs in 1991 is just 4 months removed from having his wife and daughter murdered. He is restarting his life. He's going back to the base where he was trained to join NIS. He's just everything is day one for him. There's so many firsts in his life right now, and that's really tough to transition like that. Change is difficult for anyone, and so I think this is a really great character for not only for service members to look at, but for general population too, that they can learn that it's okay to start over, that there are so many times we get scared in life that we're too far down the road to feel like we can chase dreams or to go after something new. And I think that this character is a really shining example of what it can mean to follow your gut, listen to your heart, and to also lean on others when you need a helping hand.
And speaking of leaning on others, tell me where you found the most mentorship from Mark Harmon. I know he's been part of this and really such an incredible character and wonderful actor. And for you, what has that been like to have a relationship with him?
It's the thrill of a lifetime. I mean, to get tapped to step into the shoes of an iconic character like that, and really an iconic man. You know, there's so much of who Mark Harmon is inside of Gibbs, and so I felt there really wasn't. It wasn't my job to try to do an imitation, but to try to capture more who Mark is as a man, as a leader of that show, and now as our executive producer. And but he really talks about leading a lot. He never talks to me about acting, but he talks to me about what it's going to be like to lead this show. And that advice has been just really touching for me, because I needed it. You know, that he's gone through it. He's gone through every single step that I'm going to go through, hopefully, should the show do what we're hoping it does. But to have that firsthand experience, and everything that he has said has come true. And
really?
Yeah, one of the greatest pieces of advice, he says, sleep is overrated.
Just like you said, there's hardly any sleep with this. Now, you did have to go through some coaching, a little bit of training when it comes to law enforcement, military maneuvers. I mean, I'm sure there must have been a lot of that as well.
Yeah, and so we have our military advisor on set, someone who's constantly there. He's a Marine. He was a gunner, and So anything that we need in terms of, oh, yeah, I have a question, but it's not, it usually never even gets that far. He's already handled it because he's a Marine and, you know, is 2 steps ahead, just like he should be. And then I did my own work, reaching out to friends of mine that I grew up with, who are former Marines, and asking them what I should do, what I should inhabit, what they would like to see in this character. So I've been doing a lot of weighted long runs. I think there's something to those long endurance runs that you prove to yourself that it's a lot of mind over matter. And I think that's a lot of what Marines learn in boot camp and throughout their training, is that you can train your mind to handle situations and be better prepared for success when the time comes.
Wow, so intense. Marine Corps is just celebrating their 249th birthday, so really, really happy birthday to Marines.
Happy birthday, Marines. Raw Marines.
What has it meant for you to play a Marine? And I'm sure you've come across a number of them too, talking about your role.
Wow. I've played several service members over the year, and it's an incredible honor for me every single time. It's not something I take lightly. My grandfather served in World War II, and we were raised not in the military family, but certainly with that background. And it's that respect to self, respect to others, perseverance, and this drive for more. That you are, the answer is never no, it's how. And there is this incredible energy that drives me all the time in this character, because he is a Marine. I'm very proud to represent the Marines. I'm proud to, I wanted it to be me. That if somebody's going to do it, I said I want it to be me, because I feel like I can take that on, and I want to show them, I want to show the world what it means to be a Marine, and what it means to be a human being at the same time, because they are. And I think that was a lot of what drew me to the character, is that you see, yes, you see the shield come up, and you see the strength, and you see the power, and you see how the training has helped Gibbs become the man who he is. But underneath, you see that he is a struggling human being like us all. But it's about telling yourself to get back up when you hit the mat, to rise again.
That's right.
Yeah, and you learn that not only through in the Marines, but all our service members. So it means a lot to me to be representing them.
So many veterans watch your show, and I'm sure many of them are like, I would love to get into the entertainment business. I mean, is there any advice that you would give for them, those who might be interested in being part of the media industry?
Show up. 90% of life is just showing up. So if you're interested in it, there are certain cities right now where you just kind of have to be. New York, Atlanta, LA, and once you're there, don't take no for an answer. I had a trick when I first got to LA, that I was sending out shoes. I would send one shoe, and I would send it through the mail to casting directors, producers, anybody I was looking to get in touch with a note that said, "Now that I have my foot in the door, maybe you'll allow me to come in." Yeah, anything to set yourself apart.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is yeah, sure, yeah, overnight success. Yeah, just send some shoes, you'll be fine.
It takes a lot of hard work. We get it. Well, all right. Well, you have to tell us a little bit about the origin story. Give us an idea, without giving us any spoilers. I mean, where does the story go from here?
I wish I knew. I'm only so many episodes ahead. I've only read the first 11 episodes, and so there's a little bit more. There's more of what NCIS fans have come to expect from this NCIS verse, we call it. A lot more fun crimes that we get to go and solve, but you're also going to get to go on Gibbs's journey with him as he's traveling through this time of grief, but and also these wonderful characters that are around him, and showing him that there is more to life, that there is going to be this exciting new chapter of his life that will give him fulfillment and self-empowerment. yeah, there's just fans are going to love it.
Well, we're loving it already. So thank you so much.
Thank
Good to
you.
talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you.